Hello, my name is Lon Safko, co-author of the Social Media Bible, published by John Wiley & Sons, the most comprehensive book ever written on the subject of social media. And today we are here with Chris Pirillo, Geek, tech enthusiast, all-around cool guy. And we're going to be talking about community building, social media, and of course we're going to talk a lot about Chris Pirillo. So Chris, man, how cool is this from Seattle, having you here today? Thank you.
No problem. I mean, now, thanks to the internet, anybody can communicate with anybody else, anywhere, anytime.
I've actually heard of the internet, and not only that, but the cool thing about this presentation is for your 360 or so viewers that are looking at your website right now, which I'm one of them. We're talking on the phone, digitally recording it, but at the same time, viewers from all over the world are actually watching this take place on ChrisPirillo.com live. How cool is that?
Well, that's another one of those things that I've kind of stumbled into. I mean, every year something new pops up onto my radar, and a couple years ago it was the ability to live stream without really paying anything other than your ISP, so I figured, hey, why not?
That's totally cool. I love this because I'm watching you watch me, talk to you, talk to me. Usually about this, in the beginning of the interview, I'll just say, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? But I wanted to just, for the listeners, to get a full appreciation of who Chris Pirillo is, just kind of throw out a little bit of statistics. You've recorded over 1,000 videos in the past year. You cracked the top 100 most subscribed throughout the whole of YouTube. Your live stats are even more impressive. Over 5 million unique video viewers watched Chris do his thing in 2007, with a total of 2+ million live viewer hours, with an average viewing at 25 minutes per visitor. Holy moly, man. This past August, your live video feeds are recorded 279,000 viewer hours, with over 1 million viewers, 827,000 unique viewers, 395 average viewers, and 707 hours of live broadcasting. Holy mole. And in the first 7 days of launching your web community for geeks, you logged in 587,000 page views. This stuff is unbelievable. And here's one that's just totally cool because it's so simplistic. You are the #1 hit on Google for the word Chris. Now, how cool is all that?
Well, hopefully that particular statistic will hold true for the duration of my life. I don't know. There's only one place to head, and that's down after you're #1 Chris on Google. Although it hasn't happened yet, I'm praying that they never change their algorithms or another, more important Chris potentially comes along and usurps my position.
Well, that's pretty darn impressive, though. I mean, as a generic term as 4 letters, Chris. The only other person I had ever heard that happen to is I was interviewing Robert Scoble, and if you type in Robert, he is the official Google Robert. So you're the only two I know of.
Yeah, it took a while to get there, but he finally did.
Yeah, he finally did. Probably took some of your advice. Okay, well, again, this is where I usually just kind of ask for a bio and a background, but I can't ask this question any other way other than, who the heck is Chris Pirillo? I mean, wow, you're out there, man. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. I turned a personality disorder into a career, as I've been prone to say. There's really no one thing that I do. I'm an omni-geek, or an uber geek, some might call me. Someone who's just always been attracted to technology, much like a bug may be attracted to a light hanging off of a porch in the middle of summer. Sometimes it works pretty well for me, and other times not so much. But I'm a content publisher. I help other people publish content, and now gotten more and more into producing and sharing my own video experiences, whether they're live or, of course, recorded on YouTube. The direction that I've been going is just largely just being myself. So enjoying talking about technology, enjoying sharing information, whether that's directly with people like myself, or if it's specifically in talking directly to companies either on a sponsorship level or specifically consultancy.
Cool. And you talked about generating content, and really it's for the intent of building community. And based on my experience and interviewing all of the different people in the social media atmosphere, it keeps getting back to participating in a community of a trusted network of people that have something in common and kind of building credibility with your audience. Can you kind of just mention a little bit about the term community building?
It's ongoing, and whereas, when I started online, there really weren't a lot of tools to facilitate community building. You had to roll your own. Today, those tools are plentiful. There are plenty of ways that you can build community and draw people into the things that you're interested in and, help, build their interest and, their experiences with you. So it's, I'm sorry, there's another call seems to be coming in there. The whole hope in doing community building is that you feel less alone in this world. And no matter your background, the chances of some other people sharing similar interests or similar enough are pretty strong. It's the internet's a big place, and community ebbs and flows. But certainly the one thing that you're always going to have going for you is yourself. So as long as you're honest with yourself and with your friends and people that aren't yet your friends, the chances of you maintaining a level of integrity on an ongoing basis, no matter the tools, no matter where you're at, are pretty strong. So it's all about being honest and direct, and that really is not just so much in the area of community building. It's just more in being a good medicine in general.
And I've watched a lot of your videos, and I think the most important thing that comes across to me is your sincerity. I mean, you really believe in what you're doing, and you really are honest with yourself and with your audience.
Well, you can't talk about something if you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, when people do that, it's pretty obvious, that they're just either a hired gun, hired talent, or they just shouldn't be doing the things that they are supposedly doing.
And that's a really good point, because sincerity and knowledge really does come through. You can't hide that. How did you create such? I mean, I was looking at some of these statistics. How did you create such a huge following? How did so many people find you and become loyal to what you do?
Well, like I say, I'm an omni geek, so people come and opportunities come in a multitude of directions. And certainly, I started cultivating a lot of this back in 1992, but then officially, at least in a commercial capacity, in 1996. And from then, from that point forward, it was kind of an uphill battle because I was, really left to my own devices. Well, this is long before social networking was a word, and we had other services like Facebook and MySpace and Twitter and you name any one of those services that is, really there to help give anybody a voice to share with the rest of the world. Of course, that came then not long after blogging. I've surveyed the landscape of these services, and consistently, it's never. There's always something new to look at, mm-hmm. And so looking at all these resources and being able to leverage my own knowledge and passions against these resources to reach the same people or potentially new people is really kind of the key to, I think, any kind of success for community building. It's not just being there; it's really getting what the tool is and where it fits specifically in your modus operandi. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, I was doing all this stuff like before. I had started to work on a radio show as a host, and before I, had done a stint at Tech TV. Some people believe that I got my start at Tech TV, and they really don't know me at all, if that's the case. And it usually is. They seem to believe that everything came because of Tech TV, but no. Tech TV only happened because of everything that I was doing before then, including writing books, sending out newsletters, and doing community building a lot on my own.
So you're basically a 20-year overnight success.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not quite 20 yet.
Okay.
I just passed a decade.
Jeez, yeah, that's funny. I mean, people all of a sudden when you spring into the limelight, everybody thinks that it just happened overnight and don't realize that it takes a decade of more of building and working towards that goal. And
it's just like I'm going to be Well, I've been doing it, for a while now, a few months, working with CNN.com, doing a live, segment every week. I have carte blanche in terms of, the content for it, but I'm looking to involve myself a little deeper with CNN.com, the full-on website as a tech expert. And that only came about because of everything else that I was doing. Yeah. So it's like one thing builds on top of another, on top of another, on top of another.
Well, that's pretty cool to be involved with CNN, to be considered their tech expert. That's really awesome. How long have you been doing that?
Well, but there are people, there are certainly going to be people who say, oh, he got his start on CNN.com. I'm like, no, that's not how it goes.
That was just one step along the way. Now, I know our listeners can't see that really incredible pooch, but what's his name? I see a puppy.
The dog, Wicket.
Yeah, what's his name?
Wicket.
Wicket?
Yeah, like an Ewok.
Oh, okay. He's cool.
He really looked like an Ewok when he was a baby or puppy.
Yeah, he's got that little Ewok look and even going now for him, even now. That's cool. So in all your work, one of the things that I see for sure, I mean, one of the things that I teach in marketing is it always has to have a what's in it for me value from the viewer, from the customer's perspective. And in addition to this techie stuff, which has a tremendous value, isn't a lot of what you do too has an entertainment value?
Oh, of course. I mean, if something couldn't be entertaining, why would anybody watch it? I mean, yeah, it can be informational and entertaining at the same time. I approached, the classroom much the same way when at least when I was student teaching, and, I'm no longer, really I'm a teacher by degree, but, never actually became one in any kind of school, much beyond my education for becoming a teacher. But I believe it's extremely important. I mean, this is the thing, even if I've got my live stream going and nothing's going on and all people are doing is staring at the back of my head or listening to whatever I'm listening to or whatever,
right,
then at least I've got a chat room that's integrated with the experience. So even if I can't be entertaining, well, maybe they can be informative.
Good point. And speaking of being entertaining, as you know, I travel around the country way too much, 100 cities last year. I was looking through your videos, and I found something that listeners really need to know about if they fly, and that's your new flight safety instructional video. That was very helpful, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it's the airline safety instructions. That was the first video I uploaded to YouTube, and it made it to the front page of YouTube.
Did it really?
A little wacky. It was the first one that I uploaded. It made it to the front. No, I mean, it was 3 months into it, but it made it to the front page. Kind of funny. I've been recording videos since I could. Back on, I used to record videos. I'm pretty sure the Sony Mavica series, at least the later series, could actually record videos onto a floppy disk.
Wow,
I did that.
That is quite a while for doing video.
If it didn't do it on the Mavica, then I know it did on an earlier version of their digital cameras, and I was like, oh, wow, I can record videos. This is so cool. Of course, they were postage stamp size, but I still did it.
Yeah.
Every week. I've been doing it for a long time. And
the rest is history. Now, you're into video. There's no doubt about that, and your streaming video is really cool. I had a chance, if you're familiar with Jody Gannant, who was a live caster and involved in the One Red Paperclip. And she was telling me how stressful it is to do this 24/7 live casting. And I saw one of your videos this morning. Can you tell us a little bit about your streaming, your live casting, and is your wife, Ponzi, really fed up with it?
In respect to live streaming, I seldom move the camera. I mean, like, I've now started to take since I work out, I've got a little, it's called a Gazelle. It's in the other room, and I usually play the Xbox 360. I've just started to bring my laptop in there, and then I switch the stream over to that. But usually I only keep one camera on, and I can leave the room at any time and not feel, obligated to take the camera with me. And because of that, I've set up, that particular boundary. Some people violate that boundary, whether they, share personal information about myself that I would rather not have shared, like a phone number or what have you, or anything like that. But for the most part, I'm in control. Ponzi's got, I know she's appreciative of it in the sense that she can now keep an eye on me throughout the day. Hey, what wife would not want that?
Good point.
But at the same time, it's not her thing. So I don't really know how to answer that question. Hopefully, I did not successfully dodge it.
No, that was fine. I was just looking at your video this morning where you said that your wife and you had gotten into a big fight and she didn't want any more streaming. And then, of course, the most logical thing to do next is just get up and dance. So
that was the April Fool's Day joke. Oh, you got Rickrolled. That was a Rickroll April Fool's Day joke this year.
Ah, that's what it was. Okay, because then I got scared, of course, and went over to your live stream, and, of course, we're still live streaming.
People still watch that now and say, "Oh, he quit live streaming. I'm look at the date."
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that was a good one. I had quite a few people going. They couldn't believe that. Chris is stopping live streaming. What? What's going on?
Well, you caught me this morning too. I had to run over to your live stream to make sure you were still there. And
I've been busy with a few other things, but I knew that I wanted to connect with you on this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things, too, that was interesting, you had said about you still maintain a certain level of privacy, where Jody basically did not. And she said that how does she put it? It significantly cut into her personal